Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's. In our last episode, we did some stuff and some things that I can't remember because it's been a few days. No, I'm kidding. Sort of. We got trees going, I do remember that. So we're gonna need to finish that system and get the logs and wood routed up to here so we can run our science non-stop, which is gonna feel really nice. And the science build we had uses 1.8 wood per second. I don't really remember how much wood per second we had gotten. And then there's quite a few things we need to put on our to-do list. One of them is figuring out advanced fluid handling. The problem is there might be a bug with advanced fluid handling right now, so we're gonna have to play with that. And when I say there might be, I'm like 99% sure there is, because some of my peeps in the Discord were telling me it's currently broken and you can delete an entire fluid network pretty easily, which is not a good thing. So that may have to be something we do later after the bug is fixed. But yeah, so our build here, we have the ability to make 1.5 wood per second. That's nowhere near enough. Because that's not even counting how much we need to make the tree seedlings. Because 3 seedlings makes 6 logs, and 6 logs is gonna make about 30 seeds, maybe like 25 seeds. And 25 seeds is going to make about 75 seedlings. Okay, so it's a pretty small percentage then. 3 to 75 is a pretty big ratio. But still, 2 of these is not going to be enough, especially if I want to be running buildings off of wood. Yeah. I'm going to take that away for now because I think it's only causing slowdowns. Well, we need this system to really be fully automated, and that's just, unfortunately, I went for making 50 trees first, and I don't think that was a good decision. But once the 50 trees are done, the seedlings will back up to here, and things should be fully automated and good to go. And the seedlings that could spoil will be happy to be returned along that route, so that should be okay. The seedlings could also spoil inside of these, so I probably should only have... Excuse me. I probably should only have these buildings... these inserters running if log is less than... I don't know... 20. And then we're measuring this belt. No, not that. Wrong log, that is recipe log. Oh. That's annoying. But you're right. Gotta be careful about that. So, can you select every recipe as a signal? Is that just now a thing? What happens if there's a... Why is this so confusing to my brain right now? Because every item is also a recipe. Or has recipes. So then... you didn't have chat to warn you. Yeah, I remember you running into the exact same thing. I lucked out by having viewers. Anyway, I don't really know... Yeah, I guess the recipes have to be available as a signal to be able to set assemblers. But I hadn't considered that those same signals might be used just as generic signals. But I guess it makes sense. You'd need to be able to do all the... A signal's a signal, you know? It's like it either works everywhere or it doesn't. And so it kind of needs to work everywhere. For you to be able to do combinator stuff and everything. I just hadn't even considered it. Okay, so I think we're good then. Those won't run if we're starting to get backed up on logs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, if we're past here with logs, then those will stop inserting. So that is totally fine. That will prevent seedlings from getting clogged up in these, so I shouldn't have any tree seedlings coming on this belt. We could, but I don't really think we need to, given what I just set up. The only way this goes wrong is if we run out of ash, which we totally could, but why don't I just go grab some more right now, and that problem will be so many hours down the road. We'll have a lot of new ways to deal with it by then. So we'll just go grab some ash and call it a day. And then we're gonna work on advanced fluid handling, though that is a bit of a bummer. Like I said, there's a bug where it will delete the fluid contents if you like rotate one of the things. So I'm hoping that gets fixed soon, because I do really like advanced fluid handling, and I want to use it for my tar processing. Oh wow, we lucked out. Those barely fit. And tar processing is a big thing we're going to be setting up soon. In fact, I'm going to put it there. Tar processing is a huge deal. It's how you get all of the early game, like, fluids, and how you end up getting creosote and other things I can't remember the name of. Aromatics, creosote, and pitch and anthracene oil, and you can use pitch to make coke, and then you can get naphthalene and light oil. It's all a fun mess. Yeah, I should maybe automate engines too. Is that worth automating right now? Probably not right now. What else do we need to do? I don't really know. Let's work on the AFH thing, because that's easy enough. Yeah, it sounds like the AFH issue is only when you rotate a certain pipe a certain way, so we might be able to still use it if we're careful. Alright, and then our bus is a mess, so I don't know where to pull the plates from, because I don't have splitters. Oh, I don't have splitters. It's so sad. It's very sad. What's up, Simon? What's up, B. Jonas? Welcome, welcome. I don't need bricks over there. What am I doing? I only need iron. So why don't I just put it over here? Let's think for a moment. Is that really where we want it? Yeah, this is kind of a mall area for now. This is the early mall. So this is a decent spot for advanced fluid handling stuff. So I'll put the iron over here. And I'll maybe switch out the iron with wood. That should work. And then that will fuel the buildings, the assemblers. And then wood is on this belt. Maybe it looks like things are actually running now. Sweet. Perfect. Okay. So then I should just be able to connect this belt up. Do I have electric inserters yet? No. Do electric inserters dream of Android sheep? Or something? Something like that? Ah! Yeah, thankfully they're not burner inserters. They just are infinite inserters. Which is very nice. Alright, we'll just bring the wood over here. We can lose this building. I guess we can just do this. And that's wood. But no, we just screwed this up. Thought something felt wrong about that. By the way, the music has changed. You're not crazy if you're like, wait, this isn't Factorio music. It is not Factorio music. This is my Low Wave Times playlist. It is all Low Wave Records on Spotify. And the reason I use Low Wave Records is because they are royalty-free music for content creators. So it's super nice for anyone that's a content creator. I highly recommend. There are some other record labels that are also royalty-free. So Low Wave Records is not the only one, but it's probably my favorite. I think the Factorio music just gets a little old for me after a certain amount of time, so. How am I still screwing this up? Okay, this is supposed to be wood only. There we go. There we go. Alright, and then that works. Sweet. Okay, so for advanced fluid handling, you don't need more than one of anything. It looks like you do at first, but as long as you let things buffer, you'll be fine. So for those who haven't played with advanced fluid handling, you're about to have your mind blown. It is amazing. You can automate all of them. I personally don't use... There's a few of them that I just would use so infrequently, I don't find it worth making them. That's the 4-to-4 pipe, the 4-to-4 underground, or just the plus junction. I use these 3 and these 2. And basically those 5 are all that I make. The 1-to-3s have their moment where they're useful, but you can pretty much emulate a 1-to-3 with just having 2 1-to-2s. You can emulate a 1-to-3 by just putting a T-junction between your 1-to-2s. So you don't really need a 1-to-3 very often, you know, and I'd rather have fewer items. So generally I use these 5, and these 3 I don't use, and that one. The 4-to-4 is kind of crazy. I forgot the 4-to-4 even existed. I can't even really see a huge purpose for that. But the 1-to-4 is also one of those things where it's like, when would you use that where you need to connect underground in 4 directions at the same time? I don't know. Regardless, you need to make these 3 kind of core parts: the swivel joint, the pipe coupler, and the underground pipe segment. And then these require pipes, and then all 3 of the things. These do not require the swivel joints because they don't swivel. Like, these allow you to connect underground in a different direction. So these 2 only require the pipe coupler and the underground pipe segment. You can, if you do want to make 2 assemblers of making something, it would be the underground pipe segment. But like I said, if you just let it run, it works fine without needing, yeah, you know, just without needing to worry about not having enough stuff. Just let it buffer. It'll be fine. Okay, so we need to make pipes. We need to make these guys, and then these 2 guys, and then I will... That's not gonna work, is it? No. What's the easiest way to do this? Probably a sideways inserter that goes up onto it like that, and then we do this. So now we've got the 4 types of things. These ones can make the underground I, L, and T, And then the other 4 are needed to make the 1-to-1s and 1-to-2s. 1-to-1s are basically what we have already, but imagine if I could turn the direction so that instead of connecting this way, it went up this way. So these two could be connected to each other. So that alone is like just an amazing part of advanced fluid handling. I absolutely love it. We're gonna have to do some sort of squiggly squoo right there. And I believe this should do it. Except I'm lazy, so I actually want it to all be in a straight line. And then I'll have these do the squiggly doodad. And then we're gonna need to feed wood in. I just remembered that. Shoot. Maybe we do wood right here. And then feed in. Is it faster for me to do the rotate button 3 times? Or is it faster for me to place it and do this? I mean, I'm not used to that yet, but I'm not really sure. You could design around using only the 4-to-4. I mean, you could. It would be... I can't really imagine a world where that's going to be that much better. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, anywhere that you can use a 1-to-3, you could also use a 1-to-4. You'd end up with a lot more accidental connections. With the amount of pipe spaghetti I end up with, I feel like the 4-to-4s are more of a liability than they are a help. But yeah, the advantage would be fewer items to carry around for sure. So anyway, this is making pipes. This is oh, I need small parts. Why did I not look at that? Completely missed that. Just 100%. I saw it at some point and just ignored it, I guess. So then why don't we move this over here, and this one can be regular pipe. And then that way we can feed in the small parts from this direction. And then we'll pick these up. And so that they're all on the same side. Forgot all those inserters. Yeah, if you don't perceive them, they can't hurt you. Small parts aren't real, they can't hurt you. And then I'm gonna let these all buffer up to 100. I'll let these in particular, the 1-to-2s are the ones that you end up using the most of. Because, well, I don't have any yet, so it's kind of hard to explain it. Let me just craft a few of all of them so we can demo. Also, to Ronan, how do I do the bug? I want to make sure I understand exactly how to do it so we don't screw it up. What's up, Carstep? We switched to Twitch. I should be live on YouTube as well. Should be both. Okay, so anyway, these underground eye extend. I need to remember my hotkeys. Does anyone want to open up one of my Pi Season 2 saves and tell me what my hotkeys were? I think it was this and this. No, that's not right. No. Shoot. I don't remember what my hotkeys were. This is where splitters will go when we have them someday. What were my hotkeys? I think this one is the 1-to-2. And this one might be the L, because I think 1 to 2s and L's are the ones I use the most. I stopped using the regular pipe to grounds forever, which is a little annoying because they are... Oh, they're not an ingredient in anything. Why did I think they were? Okay, so yeah, we can just forget about them forever, basically. Because they don't get used in anything. Does FNEI say the same thing? Yes, okay. So we will never see pipe to grounds again, because I'll just have these 1-to-1s. But anyway, so the way that this works, now that we have it, is they, by default, are going in a straight line, but then you can hit Control R, and, oh, this is annoying. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's really annoying. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm just sad right now because of... Okay, let me tell you why I'm sad. So, Rygaard has said he's not going to make Pipe Visualizer for 2.0. Hey, Sviplet! 5 months! Thank you so much. Very appreciated. So Rygaard has said he's not making Pipe Visualizer for 2.0. And you might say, well, that's fine. Pipe Visualizer doesn't need to be made in 2.0 because it's already in, it's just already in the game by default. Look, you're visualizing pipes. But it's different. Pipe Visualizer had hotkeys. This is a different thing, and now you can't see the pipe when you hover over it. And so for advanced fluid handling, you can't see what direction that little arrow is going as you're rotating it around. Now you can over in the sidebar, so I'll just have to get used to looking at the sidebar, I guess, but that's really annoying. And I'm not sure if there's any way we can fix it, which is a bummer. Yeah, I'm secretly hoping Rygaard will change his mind and eventually someday make Pipe Visualizer again with all of the features that Pipe Visualizer had, the exact same functionality, because I actually don't like that it's always on in Factorio 2.0. It's fine for small... it's one of those things where, again, I think it's fine for baseline Factorio, but for super crazy modded pipe spaghetti, when pipes are all over your base, you're just seeing the pipe networks flash on screen all the time when you randomly are running around and your mouse crosses over something. And I actually think it's visually distracting. Like, I don't want to always see the entire pipe network flash into existence when I mouse over a pipe. I assume I can turn it off. I don't actually know if you can even turn off the Pipe Visualizer mode now, but I assume you can. I haven't tried yet, but if you can't, I'm doubly frustrated. If you can, I'm only just sort of frustrated because you can't control it with like a hotkey or something. I'm not seeing a setting. Is it like one of these settings? Is there a toggle for it? Does it turn off if you turn off alt mode? No, it doesn't even, it's not even tied to alt mode. It wouldn't be in mod settings. Yeah, maybe I'm missing it, but... By the way, I'm just gonna say this now. A ton of people have asked me about this. How do I have my inventory so that these are two separate tabs? And the answer is flat character GUI. Turn that off. Anyway, yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the pipe visualizer change being always on and not configurable to be hotkey based and stuff. That feels a bit too aggressive almost. To be like, you'll see this and you'll like it. So I feel like I'm missing a setting for it. But I don't know where it would be other than interface. That's where all these settings are. And I don't think any of these have pipe in them. It shouldn't be the rest setting, but you never know. The word pipe doesn't show up, so probably not. Neither does visualizer. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. That feels like a pretty strong feature to force always on for everybody always with no option. That doesn't sound good to me. I mean, the fact that you can't even just turn it off in the settings feels weird. Because surely not everybody likes it. I think a lot of people like it. I'm glad it's on by default. I very much appreciated it in my Space Age playthrough and had no complaints about it. But for a mod pack like pYanodon's, I'm not sure I want it on all the time. And I just miss the old pipe visualizer mod, and I'm missing it even more right now, and I'm really sad. I don't know what to do with that sadness. Anyway, let's move on to the glitch. Let's see if we can understand what not to do. So we've got water here. This is a good example of something we can delete for free. Okay, I just muscle memoried this. I definitely have these on shift 4. So then is that gonna delete it? Why does this not have any water in it? That's the first question. Oh boy. We've got all sorts of glitches with advanced fluid handling. Oh, right. The pipe braiding thing. I forgot to check that. I have to restart the game real quick. Yes. Let's... BRB. Okay, and we are back. So the reason it wasn't connected is because of that braided pipes setting in pYindustry. That means I need to change my initial save for syncing mod settings, which I have uploaded on my Discord, by the way. If you want to have all the same settings, I'll need to change that one. Okay, so anyway, these are now working properly. But then if I rotate this, you're telling me, yep, it just yeets the entire contents of the pipe network. Cool. Okay. That's bad. That's really bad. And I assume that happens with the 1 to 2s as well. It's so hard to see though on the side of the screen, because at least here I'm zoomed in and you can see the arrows a bit better. On the side, it's like I have to do this to see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the new changes to pipe visualizer. It's a watered down pipe visualizer, and I think it's gonna cause some downside. It's causing downsides already right now with advanced fluid handling, and I think it's gonna have further repercussions too. So I hope eventually Rygaard finishes some other projects and decides it's worth his time to take up pipe visualizer again. Because I see a need for it personally. Maybe it was this one that was over. I can't remember. And wait. No. I use the underground T-junctions too. Sorry, what am I talking about? Did I do this wrong? No, 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 no. Okay, sorry. I just handcrafted some of these. I did set these up correctly. Yeah, the T-junctions are what I use. So basically, the main draw of advanced fluid handling is when you've got a lot of buildings set up next to each other, what you normally have to do in vanilla is this sort of thing. And then on top of that, if they are buildings that... Do I have any buildings? You know, if they're buildings with 2 inputs, you have to do this whole sort of thing. And then it can get really messy and spaghetti-y, and you know, you're pasting these, and they're taking up so much room in front of the buildings. But with advanced fluid handling, you can just do this. And it just feels so good because they just connect across, you know, underground. It's kind of like in games where you have multiple Z layers, where it's like, okay, you have a bunch of straight pipes along the bottom, but then you have an up pipe that connects to the building. It makes sense that you can do this, and it's just very nice. So I'm a big fan of advanced fluid handling for mod packs, for sure. You don't really need it in vanilla, but Mandriod, how do I have this? How do I have these being so wide? It is the custom production UI fixed mod, which was initially fixed by me, aka I asked Ryguard how to stop it from crashing. Or no, what was the fix that I did? The fix that I did was that... What was it? Oh, it was warehouses. So the original mod author who made it, God rest their souls. No, I assume they're still alive. But they didn't update their mod. Whenever you had an inventory of like a chest, and the inventory was so big that it had a scroll bar, for whatever reason, the mod, the little squares on the end here were overlapping with the scroll bar, and it was kind of annoying. So Ryguard gave me a line of code that fixed that, and then I changed it. And then 2.0 came out, and people were asking about fixing it for 2.0, and Derpamu helped with that. So I've done less updates to the mod than other people, despite the fact that it's my mod. Anyway. Okay, so these will build up very slowly over time. I guess we can speed this up a little bit by having 2 iron inserters. There we go. I guess there's no point in having, because these are the same, it's just 1-to-1. But yeah, that'll speed things up a little bit. And yeah, over time that'll build up, and we'll have plenty of advanced fluid handling pipes. I need to get rid of these 1-to-3s. Somewhere. Where's a dump chest? I don't have dump chests everywhere these days, which is kind of nice. But here's one. Single science pack. Probably shouldn't waste that. Yeah, those 1-to-3s are never going to get used. The sap will get used. These pipe to grounds are now dead to me. I actually need a lot more electric poles here. So I might go cut a few trees for that. Yeah, so Heinj, I don't know how to pronounce your name exactly. That is an interesting question about readability. It's true. So first off, it is true that the advanced fluid handling pipes are a bit less readable if the arrows really help, and then pipe visualizer really helped. The old version helped a lot more, and that's part of why I'm worried about the new version. I think the old pipe visualizer mod had some really good features. I mean, really all of its features were different. The new version of pipe visualizer, I don't even know if, like, you can call it pipe visualizer because in some ways it's still sort of doing the same thing, but it's not, because the old one had a button that you would actually click to... It had 2 different buttons, and one of them was toggle mouse over visualization. So it would toggle what we currently have always on, and we don't have a toggle for, unless I'm missing it and nobody in chat is talking about it. there was a toggle for this feature before. It wasn't just always on. So that's thing number one. And thing number two is it had another mode that you could click it and it would visualize all the pipes. And it would gray out the back, basically the whole screen that isn't pipe network. And it would color all the different pipes, and you could walk around and you could just see all the networks at the same time. Kind of like what you see in map view right now. You know, you can see the different pipe networks all together. It was kind of like that, but without all the other visual noise, and you were able to walk around and look at stuff and make sure, okay, that's connected, and you didn't have to mouse over any of them. So that's feature number two. So we're already at two things that Pipe Visualizer did that now we cannot do in the game at all, which is a downgrade, right? I don't like downgrades in my game DLCs. Not that Space Age is the downgrade, but just the fact that we now have less features with the modded version. Anyway, and then thing number three that we now cannot do, which you could do, is lock a pipe. So you could hit, I think it was the H key, because back then, you know, we didn't have H to flip horizontally back then. But anyway, the H key, you could lock it, and you would hit the lock key, and then it would keep that visualization on the screen without having to mouse over the pipe. So I could lock this water and then run around and look and just see the water network regardless of where my mouse is floating over. So it allowed you to kind of explore and make sure, like, is this pipe network actually connected? But the only way to do that now is to run around and mouse over each individual piece to make sure it's connected. It's just way more annoying. So those are three reasons we need the old pipe visualizer mod back. Rygard, please, please, God, help me. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Anyway, there's my TED Talk on why we need Pipe Visualizer. 3 reasons. So if you think about it in those senses, there's 4 things that the old mod could do, and the new vanilla default only does 1 of them. Or maybe there's 3 things the old one can do, and the new one does 1 of them, and with reduced functionality. Or maybe no, sorry. New way to think about it. 2 things it could do. It could do the whole screen showing all the pipes at the same time, or just 1 at a time. But then there were 2 features for the 1 at a time, which was locking and the ability to toggle it off. So between those 2 things, that's like 2 extra features that we lost on this functionality. And then on top of that, there was the button that showed all the pipelines, which we lost. We did gain the functionality of having pipelines on the map view, which is nice. But I don't think that replaces it. It's not a replacement for that functionality. It's just different. It's nice, but it's not the same thing. So, yeah. So the readability is less important, that you can just see what's going on in a spaghetti view. So Bob's adjustable inserters have the same issue, but it's plenty readable when you're the one producing it and making it. I don't actually feel like it's that big of an issue. And then once it's running, you don't need the inserter pickup direction to be that readable, because you're not often going in and changing inserter drop off and pickup locations, or changing a pipe connection in the build. So for me, the readability is more about things that you are changing more frequently or need to modify frequently. I don't actually mind too much that individual pipe connections might be a bit of spaghetti internally. You know, it's things like Pipe Visualizer that I really like, giving me the readability of like, oh, this pipe does connect across to that other water network. Like, I want to know which water networks are connected, and Pipe Visualizer is going to be a much bigger part of finding that out than what direction the undergrounds are going. If you build a swiveling underground over a ghost, it doesn't set the direction correctly from the ghost. Yeah, I think AFH needs some updates, it seems like. Also, Drag Nearest, you're welcome. Glad you're enjoying season 3. I'm enjoying season 3 so far. What are we doing next? I've been ranting for a while. Not even ranting, just talking about things. So now what? I think it is time to begin thinking about tar. Let's zoom out. Okay, done. No, I'm kidding. Let's look at circuits. Circuits are kind of the main goal that we need to have, and we should set our smaller goals accordingly. So, simple circuit board. If I wanted to make 3 per second, we would be playing for another 50 hours before I'd get there. We will not be making 3 per second. I'll just set it to 1 for now. The reason is not because I want 1 per second, but it's because I want to understand what it costs me to produce 1 circuit, if that makes sense. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the substrate in its own block, and we're going to have the... What is happening? Why is that... Okay, it's not linked. I don't know why a new block isn't linked by default, but that's fine. And then we're going to have all these pieces in another block. I already have 2 air core inductor recipes. Are you serious? So then... Can we make ceramic already? I can't remember. Yes. High pressure furnace, coke and clay. Clay is steam. I mean, I guess we can compare pretty easily. Let's just look at both. Copper wise, it's double the copper to do the iron stick version. That's a lot of copper. But what's easier? 1 iron stick and 4 copper cable, or 0.4 ceramic, which requires 0.08 coke and 0.8 clay, and 0.8 clay, which requires 26 steam, which is like 3 boilers worth of steam, which is going to be more raw coal or coke. Interesting. I think it's worth saving the copper and the iron and just doing the steam route, because the actual amount of coke is very low, and I can make steam with a variety of methods. So I think we will go with the cheaper method, and then we'll leave those off for the time being. Okay, so where are we at? I lost track. We did copper zinc batteries, ceramic capacitors, air core inductors, high power resistors, vacuum tubes. Ooh, the new glass icon. Oh ho ho! It's Not Melon coming in hot with the new glass icon. Those who watched my Meraxis episodes will recognize the new glass icon. I can't decide how I feel about it. I like it, but there's something I miss about the old one. And I don't know if it's just nostalgia or something else. Okay, and then solder, which is a giant pain in the butt. It is so expensive for right now. Like, solder is extremely expensive. Welcome to the Zen Garden and / or you're doomed. Yeah, exactly. Wait. No. Undo that. Is there an undo button? I don't know if there is. Can I move this back out? Yes, I can. Okay, so what I actually want to do is control click. Boom. So that's all now a block. Those are all linked and it's broken. Okay. So this is where we get to start learning about all the new pi. I don't know what a consumer block versus a producer block is. But I don't think that's what we want. We want all of these to be linked properly. Does this work? Welcome to Hellmod episode number 1. One of many. So, like, why is it making that many air core inductors? Does anybody know? Why would you be making 3.334 air core inductors? For what purpose? Because we don't need that many. We just end up with extra output. So why is that the number that it's making? I cannot... Because Hellmod is super broken. It's certainly possible. But I seem to remember these sorts of things worked fine before. Why is it doing it this way? If I change this, it does change... Up, wrong button. It does change the amount. So why is it overproducing? Probably a reason for it. I do want to start understanding how it all works, because I love Hellmod, and I want it to be the best that it can be. So I probably will do a detailed bug and or feature request report at some point. So I do want to dive into this a little bit. So what I don't understand is why this is making so many extra air core inductors. If I remove all these, it fixed it. Okay. So that tells us something. It was combining, it was doing something weird. I don't know exactly what. Let's figure that out. So let's delete that block. Let's add these like we had before. And let's figure out what it was doing. So I added all these to a block, control click, I linked it, and it probably has something to do with... That's weird. I was gonna say it had something to do with, maybe it was this, the ceramic in this recipe. No, that didn't change it. Which one does change it? 3.34 high power resistors? No. Vacuum tube? No. What was that last one I just removed? The solder? What would that... Why does adding solder change this amount of air core inductors? What possible reason could it have for that? So this is properly linked to make 1 per second right now. But why would it change when I add a recipe of solder? There's gotta be a reason it's doing this, but I cannot figure it out. And control clicking doesn't seem to change anything. Oh, I see. So a block seems like it can... So it changed... Well, I still don't see. I don't understand why air cores are defaulting to this number. Is it because it's making coal or something? Or ash? Is it making ash for another block? Like, what is... No, that's the only product of this. Is it using up? Don't really understand that at all. Huh. Starting on PyScience 1 and just started my Py run. Yeah, I mean, just is a very interesting sentence when it comes to pYanodon's. Because we just started and we're at 11 hours, but I still feel like we haven't even really started the early game. We're still in the tutorial, you know? Okay, so we are going to understand this. If it kills us, so what is happening? Why? So if we control click it, that sets as main product. That works fine. But for some reason, if it's not set as a main product, it makes a wonky amount of air core inductors. Why does it make this wonky amount? But it's a wonky amount that's tied to the production, because if I change the amount of simple circuit boards, it changes how many air core inductors we're making. So it's because the solder is linked, but the solder shouldn't have anything to do with how many air core inductors we're making. So it's like it's doubling the whole block just to make enough solder, which happens to also double the air core inductors. But why are these different? It's not like we have two of each factory. Ooh, I think I'm starting to understand what's happening here. I think what it's doing is it's multiplying. Let's try something. Let's try removing this. So now we have 0.5 electronics factory. I think what it's doing... is it's adding one building worth of this and then multiplying by the whole block by whatever it needs to fulfill the solder requirement. And then that happens to multiply air core inductors as well. What if I add the vacuum tube in here? What happens? Same problem. Huh. So, why is it not working? What, like, gotta be a way to make this work, right? And if you tell me I'm supposed to make an entirely separate block for each ingredient, that would be not how Helmut should work. Like, that shouldn't be right. Like, obviously that's an option that you could make a different block for every ingredient, but you shouldn't have to. You should be able to make multiple, you know, of these things that you need in one block. But maybe not. Maybe it can only scale blocks entirely. Maybe it's not capable of scaling blocks separately. So what if I... What's a good example? Like if I add this in here. I feel like something's still wonky. Because what I want... What's up, Spider Horse? Epsilon, yes, we are in Helmod jail. Pi is treating us well. We are trying to figure out the intricacies of Helmod right now, and we are not necessarily succeeding. What if I had... What if I just wanted copper cable as an extra main output? Will that then... See, this is the kind of thing that I understand. Like, yeah, you can do fancy stuff like this where you're like, ooh, I want to meet the need for the 5 copper cable. I want to meet that extra need from this block by control clicking this output. Even though normally this copper cable would only meet the need of this ingredient, we can control click it to link it to the block above it. Like, I love that. It's great. That's how it's supposed to work. I get that. That's fancy. And I feel like I understand that. What I don't understand is what's happening with these objects and why they're both increasing together. Like, what if I did the same idea then? What if I just wanted extra vacuum tubes? Why does it increase the amount of air core inductors we make? Because it's not also increasing the amount of copper cable I'm making. So it's not scaling... Oh, well, it kind of is. But the 5 extra, it's not scaling the 5 extra. What is the situation here, and why is it happening? Interesting. The worst part, I'm not gonna go on a crazy Helmod rant, despite the fact that I know you guys would love it. But I will say the worst part is that I don't know if it's a bug or a feature. Like, I don't know if there's a certain button I can hit to make it do exactly what I want, or if it's actually a bug. I don't think any of these settings are gonna change things. Are those icons explained somewhere? Because those are new. Some of those icons are new. I don't know what they all mean. I haven't hit the help button in a while. Maybe we should look at that. Oh, this is for old Helmod. That's bothersome. Doesn't even have the icons. Yeah, that's not really that helpful. Can Helmod help with quality? I think so. I haven't tried it yet. What is this all about? Consumer block versus producer block. Oop. What's this? product input. Now we're making too many vacuum tubes. Cellulose spoils. Yes, yes it does. Okay, I might have to give up on this for now. I'm really wanting to use Hellmod and use it well. It's possible there are some bugs. It's probable there are some bugs. I'm not gonna fix anything. So why is this not? I feel like I want to understand it. Because if we just have the air core inductors, it works fine. If I add in copper zinc batteries to this block, then that's already breaking things as well. The order of these doesn't seem to matter. Control clicking those doesn't seem to matter. Shift clicking does ignore it. Now there's always the option to unlink it and manually set the numbers, but of course that's not what we want to do. It does seem like it's scaling. Yeah, see, it's making 5 times as many, and it's still making 5 times as many. So it's like it's scaling all of the outputs to the same result when it shouldn't be. Like if I type 0.5 there and 0.167 here, boom, it's doing what we need it to do. So the problem is the linking isn't actually setting it. Well, now it's working, but that's just because of the numbers I typed in. Like the linking isn't linking multiple. It's very confusing, but it's not linking these separately. It's just linking the batteries, and it's just multiplying everything else. Which doesn't really make sense that it would do that, because the air core inductors are not producing anything needed in the copper zinc batteries. So there's no reason it would do that. So there's no real reason why this line should be changing at all when the need for copper zinc batteries changes, but it is. And that's where I'm feeling like the bug might actually be. So I'll probably report that later. All right, we're moving on. Sorry guys, if you don't enjoy watching me in Hellmod, you may have to skip a few sections of our play, because I'm sure there will be more. But I actually was here for a reason before we got sucked into understanding Hellmod, which is just, I do want to actually plug in all the ingredients real quick. And then I will make the substrates a separate block at my own peril. At least for that, it should be okay. And then in here, we need the formica, which needs treated wood, which needs sap. Comes from that. And these have the modules in them. And we've got fiber. Jeez. And then formaldehyde, which we get from copper and methane, and then methane we get from moondrops. So moondrops keep falling on my head, and that's a whole thing. Okay. As far as other materials, we need 10 zinc, some saline water, 0.8 glass, some lead, cellulose, which is wood and limestone, and only lasts 10 minutes. Jeez. That's a much shorter timer than our flora. Did I pick my moondrop turd yet? No, I haven't picked any turds yet. What a sentence. Oh, by the way, we probably should do some other researches now that we just get all these cheap ones out of the way. Ooh. Copper processing stage 1. Don't mind if I do. We can research splitters. I won't be able to make them for a long time, but I'll do a crafting speed and a movement speed, I guess. Now that wood is automated, science should be fully automated. Okay, so probably want to make a little bit more wood right now, just to get that done. So let's craft some more forestries, and we'll probably be done with the episode soon. It feels like we've got nothing done in this episode, other than some advanced fluid handling stuff. Wow. That's Factorio for you. You know, like I said, we're gonna be doing the Zen Garden approach. We're not here to make progress. But wow, that sure is not much progress. Just a lot of looking around at stuff. And, you know, you gotta understand it before you can really work on it. Alright, how are these doing? These are looking good. And how much science do we have? Ooh, hundreds. Nice. That being said, I must have chopped science in half here. There we go. Can I now set the recipes for things like making wood depending on the ingredients you have? Do you just mean because of how we can control assemblers with circuits now? If that's what you mean, then yes, we can do that now. It takes a lot of work to do those things in a way that's helpful, but yes, we can do that. All right, let's just copy this. Come on, build it. Oh, they can't. That's the wrong pipe type. Oh, I need to go grab some more of those. Because the one-to-ones we're going to use a lot because, you know, they're just the normal pipe. Grab those bad boys from up here. I only have 27 for now. They'll build up more. The 1-to-2s are kind of expensive, so they're taking a while. But yeah, that's fine. I probably should redo the build with these eye extenders and 1-to-2s. So I'm gonna take a few of everything. Did you know that the fastwood forestry is not all that fast? Oh, it's so true. It's just a marketing ploy. It's not fast at all. Alright, I think that is a better scheme. Alright, belt. What are you guys doing? They're getting all confused. Uh-oh. Never seen this happen before. Is this tree the problem? I guess. I don't know what that was about. Weird. And now we have to manually place the trees because the construction drones don't do it, which is very annoying. 15 more of those. And then I'll have to move my tree seedlings, get rid of her, to the bottom of the belt. Yeah, I think it's the size of the pie buildings is causing the drones to be cranky. Indeed. Oh, and then these are not all hooked up. Where can I... Okay. Seems like it's doing the right thing. Fill that with trees, fill that with trees. Sweet. Okay, 4 should be enough for now. That's what, 3 wood per second? Can this handle that? Yes. The inserters. Oh, it doesn't have inserters. Right. Perfect. Oh no! Haha. Yes. Yes, the spoilage problem is real. Oh man. Alright. Well, that comes over here. Prioritized. Tree seedling spoiling is gonna be the death of me. Oh, everything spoiling is gonna be the death of me. Okay, so we've got a little bit more wood going. How much will we actually need for circuits, realistically? This is telling me 14 per circuit. Is that right? Please tell me that's not right. No, that's for half a circuit. Oh, 29 wood per circuit. That can't be right. No. Really? No. Well, this is where my turd options come into play. So... where's the turd menu? So this will get me quadruple the fiber, right? That's a huge difference. So that could be the thing. This just gets me double the logs. Or sorry, double the wood. So that's kind of nice. It gets me a lot more fuel value from logs. It makes the wood processing unit absurdly fast. Hey, look at that. 4 logs in 1 second rather than 4 logs in 4 seconds. So it's 4 times the speed and double the productivity at the same time, which is 8 times the result. And then there's this one. I don't think that's worth it. It makes the forestries faster, which is nice, but yeah, the fiber option is interesting because it's quadruple the fiber, but this gets us double the wood, which is also double the fiber, right? And we don't have to worry about, I don't know, this is just generically good forever, assuming logs are the way that we make wood forever, which is probably worth looking into. Yes, logs are the only way we ever make wood. So that being the case, makes me think the turd for 40 wood might be the way to go. It feels scary to pick that, but I don't know. Because I think I did the fiber one in my last run. They've probably been rebalanced since my last pYanodon's adventure. But anyway, that is an accurate amount of wood, which is absurd. That doesn't sound right, but it is. Until I have a better way of making fiber, we need absurd amounts of wood per circuit. Yeah, I don't see any other way around it. I don't think until I have kick-alc, which is a green science thing, we don't have another way to make fiber. Or Yotoi. Yeah, okay. Well, in that case, we'll probably go for that forestry turd. Where is the forestry turd, by the way? This one. Probably queue that up. Yeah, I think we'll just double our wood output. I think that'll be generically good, and it'll help us through the early game. It'll help us in the late game. I think it'll help at all stages. But yeah, where did that cellulose go? Here, this cellulose is a ton of wood and limestone. And that also does not have another recipe for a while. And that's an absurd amount of wood. So yeah, 29 wood per circuit, I think is accurate. Which is just, it's like laughably expensive. I just can't even believe that. It's so nuts. Yeah, see, why is this making extra? You see what I'm saying? Like, what is going on here? Why are we getting extra methane as an output? I know we already talked about this. So I'm gonna stop. But I do think I think Helmod's bugged. It's possible I'm missing something, but I think it's bugged. Because that should be making 60, not 73.334. I don't really see a good reason for that. It's not like we have a need for any extra formaldehyde anywhere else in the block, in any of the blocks. So anyway, we'll stop there. The plan is to work towards circuits. How many per second am I making, Spider Horse? we are definitely not making 1. I probably will go for about 0.1 per second, maybe slightly higher, but those numbers are more rational and doable. You know, when we're looking at it, like, those are all relatively possible amounts of things. So we'll probably do somewhere around 0.1. We'll figure it out exactly later. And then, yeah, we'll get the turd upgrade, which will give us double the wood production, which will be nice. So instead of this making 3 wood per second, we'll actually get 6 wood per second out of this, which feels pretty good. And I can easily scale this up. In fact, is this... I forgot to double check. This is not enough anymore, is it? Yeah, I need more botanical nurseries. So let's grab what we need for that before we finish the episode, because I'll forget. I need more iron. Oop, not that much iron. And then I guess I'll take a tiny bit more copper. Yeah, 0.1 per second is not great, but there are so many ways that we can improve the ingredients once we get into Pi 1 and green science that it's like, as long as it's enough to get you through Pi 1 and green science, then you're okay. Though, I don't know, 0.1 is still pretty low. Oh, we need planter boxes. We should have some extras. Oh my god, we have some extras. Wow, that's something I forgot to change. Okay, well there's a lifetime supply of planter boxes. Not really, but that should last a while. I'm gonna bring those down here, because this is where I need them right now. Sale on planter boxes. Yes. Just pop them in there. Okay, wait a second. How do I scale this? Not like an idiot. I need a lot of moss. What's our moss turd, by the way? We're gonna have to look at that. Ah, we don't get that till Pi Pack 1. So I guess it's not even worth looking at yet, but we're gonna have to do the moss the hard way. The other option is bringing stone into the equation. Like absurd amounts of stone. Well, it's interesting. Is it really absurd amounts of stone? Because the amount of moss I need per second isn't that much. So it's actually not that crazy. Yeah, iced Karim. It's not... Like, it's absurd. When I say absurd, I say that because it is more than 1 stone per moss that you're spending. But given the amount you actually need per second is relatively low, it wouldn't be that hard to yoink a little bit of stone for that purpose. So why don't we do that? So we'll yoink some stone, bring it down, and then this will give us more than double the moss production. Oh, that's not how that works. Where can we fit an inserter? You know, I might need our new advanced fluid handling pipes. I don't think we can fit an inserter in there. Okay, just remember, I'm not allowed to rotate anything with Control R, or the whole world breaks. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Power. Everything. And That needs 1 stone per second, and then that gets us 0.8 moss per second, which can support up to 3 of these bad boys, which is great. I'm gonna move this up here. We need to change around this design. Wonderful. You know how I said the episode was gonna be over? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. I'm just gonna make room for 3 right now, even though I only have the resources for 1. Yeah, there's a lot of stone in our future, so I'm not too worried about it. Stone is one of those things you need to mine a lot of, and make a lot of, and deal with the byproduct a lot of, and it never stops. Cannot mix fluids. This is where the rotating becomes scary. Rotate it like that, move it over there, and now, okay, that's good, it didn't delete things. I wasn't sure if placing a pre-rotated one would delete stuff, but it seems like it doesn't. So that's good. And then this thing is gonna make trees from seedlings. Something like that. The moss. Do some squigglies here. Okay, I think that looks good. And then get rid of the moss, get rid of tree seedlings. The ash, what do we got? 50,000 is gonna last us 5 hours? That's not a ton. That's probably worth check on forestry ash. Put that in my to-do list. And then grab 1 more nursery. I don't really want to have a whole extra area with tree seedlings, so I'll just do it this way. I think this is more efficient. So it'll just pull seedlings off the main factory line. Plant-based spaghetti, indeed. I think we're good. Do that. We do have, just in case the saplings spoil. Not just in case. I mean, they will spoil. I think we're okay here. Hey, Corey. Thanks for the follow. Also, before we sign off on this episode, we're going to keep streaming, but of the recorded version. Am I going to build trains at Pi Science 1 or wait till Logistics Science? Last time I waited till Logistics Science, but I don't remember why. I'll probably do that again, just because I know there's so much that changes in Logistics Science. It feels reasonable to wait until then, but we'll see what I end up actually doing. Okay, and all the rates here are... Oh, wait, no, I didn't check CO2. 5 a second? Yeah, we have more than enough. 25 a second, but really only 20 a second. We need 5 a second. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, I think we'll call that an episode. We have figured out not much about Helmod, but maybe a few things. And like I said, we'll keep streaming, so stick around if you're here live. If you're from the recorded YouTube episodes from the future, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.